Howdy. So it's been a couple of days since Camp Western has started, and between finding all of the event things that you need to find each day and talking to some people in game, it turns out that I might just be the crazy one who actually finds everything every day. I mean, don't get me wrong, I actually just really enjoy looking for stuff for this event. I love looking for the horses, I love looking for the Renegade Chests, and I don't know, as far as Star Stable goes at least, I've always been the kind of person that I like to gather as much information as possible and share it with anyone who needs it. It's kind of like the whole premise of me doing update videos. And I know that there are a lot of people on different platforms. I think some people are doing them on YouTube, probably on TikTok. I'm not on TikTok to double check. On Instagram, I've seen this. Different Discord servers will also post this information. But let's say you don't want to rely on other people finding things for you and you want to find things yourself. Since it's been a couple of days, I've gotten my bearings again with this event. I think it's time that I share some tips and tricks on how you can find everything every single day during the Camp Western or Western Festival event. I'm currently playing on my side account because I got this idea after I already looked for everything on my main account. So we're doing this on Shiloh. So each day of Camp Western, there are 3 things that you need to find. There are 5 horses. There's 5 this year, surprise. 5 Renegade Chests and 2 people. NPCs. Losers, if you want to call them that. And I'm not saying this to be rude, they just lose items every day. They are literally losers. If you're familiar, if you've either done this quest before, or you're familiar with the way that Star Stable does some of their other quests, for example, like the trapped satchels in Hollow Woods, you'll notice that things spawn in specific places, not necessarily every day, but there's kind of set places that these things can appear in. So my goal today is to try and show you the areas that you should be checking for each specific thing. I might not cover all of them just because I might just forget some, but generally these are all the places that you should check when looking for each individual thing. We're going to go category by category, starting with simultaneously the easiest and the hardest one, the item losers. So each day there's going to be 2 NPCs you could possibly find. There's going to be a Renegade and a Jorvik Ranger. The big caveat with these guys is that they don't always appear every day. Generally, the Jorvik Ranger can appear in 2 places so far. They've been appearing by this tree, by this grave site, which is kind of by the shore outside of Starshine Ranch, or they'll be up by the ranger station just partly down the hill behind a tree. I haven't found them in any other places other than these 2 places, though there are days that they don't appear. I don't know if it's going to be the same days each week that they don't appear on specific days, or if it's going to be completely random. I really won't find out probably until the end of week 2 to see if there's any consistency among the days of the week. But as of right now, those are the 2 places that I've noticed they've been spawning consistently. The Ranger I've seen in 3 different places. The first is just outside of Starshine Ranch where Josh had his little tutorial chest area. I've seen a ranger there. Nearby there, by the sand pit on the other side of the path, there's like a cluster of trees and rocks. I've seen a Jorvik Ranger there once. And finally, sometimes they will appear in the orchard near the shore outside of Starshine Ranch. Except in this specific location, they will appear as a petting zoo. And they don't give any rewards when they are a petting zoo. Now, when they are not a petting zoo, and every time you see the Renegade, if you interact with them, they will have lost an item. They will tell you where to look for this item, and then you just have to go and find the item. If you have not found either the Ranger or the Renegade yet, but you have found like a glittering item, remember where that item is because you'll have to find the NPC that's lost it before you can go actually collect the item. A lot of the times I'll find the item before I find the NPC. While both the Jorvik Ranger and the Renegade will appear in the same spot for everybody on a specific day, the items they've lost and where you'll be able to find them will differ based on everybody. So, for example, my Jorvik Ranger might want a can of York Cola that they left at the wolf den, but somebody else's might have lost a pickaxe that they left at the bear den. Those items also appear in set places each day, though honestly, both NPCs haven't been appearing as consistently as I would have thought, so I don't have a good grasp on where exactly they've lost their items. So far, I've seen inside the bear cave, somewhere around the wolf den. There's like an area behind the mine up the hill a bit that's like all trees and brambles and rocks and stuff that there's lots of wolves around. They've lost items there too. There was a shovel up by Minka once. So there's lots of possibilities. I just don't have a full list of that yet. Once you find their item and you return it to them, they will reward you with a single consumable. The Renegade will usually give you a key, and I'm pretty sure the Ranger will give you a beast repellent. But they don't grant Jorvik shillings or tokens or gold or anything like that, just a single consumable. Next up, let's talk about the horses. If you're doing anything each day for Camp Western, you should be looking for every single horse. And that's mostly because they do grant you a good amount of horse experience. They do grant you some summer tokens, but most importantly, it is the main way right now that you're going to be earning Jorvik shillings during this event. There's not a whole lot of ways or activities right now as of week 1 that will give you a whole lot of shillings, not like summer days where we were getting upwards of like 4,000 shillings a day towards the end there. Each horse you bring back will give you 200 Jorvik shillings, all for the cost of actually taking the time to look for them and a single lure. If you skipped past the tutorial quest for Camp Western, you can get lures from Gary Goldtooth by exchanging some gold nuggets. You can also find them just running around. Sometimes you'll see the consumables just floating, just collect them. Some of the Renegade Chests also have lures in them, and doing some of Carl's chores will also give you a lure. You'll need to have one on hand for each horse you plan to turn in. As far as where the horses tend to be, the horses tend to appear in specific areas around Starshine Ranch and Firgrove Forest. These are the areas so far that I've seen this week, and they have repeated multiple times throughout the week in these specific areas. I don't have a specific loop, but here are the areas you should check. Okay, so I don't always start from the bridge, but it's kind of a good landmark to use. So for the horses, sometimes on this little, I guess, peninsula area, sometimes over by this tree, we might see a wolf. This isn't ideal. Going up the path, cutting over this way where you can still see the bridge in the distance, there will be sometimes a horse here like there is today. Also worth noting, today, while I'm recording this, is Oh no, I don't really have a whole lot of those on this account. It's Monday while I'm recording this, so the horses will not appear in the same areas. But I will have the locations for today, which will be Tuesday, the coordinates at the end of the video. Going up this path, the wolf's den is up this way. Sometimes there will be a horse here. Also, sometimes in the field on the other side of the path. I don't know exactly where. I want to say it's like by these rocks. In this area, sometimes there might also be a horse. And there's one more area to check by the wolf's den. Okay, so the wolf's den is on our left, but sometimes, not necessarily all the way. Oh, okay, that's great. Now, by the wolf den, sometimes there is a horse over here. I believe it was only on the first day so far. I want to say it was like somewhere over here. This is the Red String Trail area. Somewhere in this area, I don't know if it's like on this path here by this jump, or if it's like lower on the path here, but there was one somewhere over here. It is worth checking. What's not worth checking though is the entirety of the length up Red String Trail. There will not be a chest or a horse up there, as far as I recall, and no, anyway. Kind of going by the Firgrove Sand Pit, there are 2 areas to check for horses here. The one is right in front of the pit, past the chicken coop. In this area here, you might see a horse. Sometimes they're going to be over here on this side, and sometimes they're across the path over here, where this horse is today. So while you're also over here, we can go check by the Renegade camp. A couple of times past the Renegade camp, where that wolf is just about now, so like somewhere over here or in this area here, you might see a horse. Where are we close to now? Let's go towards the... Well, once this wolf gets bored of me... No. Oh my god, that was so lucky! Oh, that was so lucky that you got bored of me just then. Anyways, okay, so we're leaving the Renegade area, and this is the summer home here. I want to say up here a little bit sometimes there's a horse. It's kind of hard to tell. Yeah, actually, yeah. So here sometimes there's a horse by this log. This is a hard one for me to like explain the logistics of where it is. It's kind of between the logging area and the summer home. By this log sometimes there's a horse. Let's actually go to the logging area. This is what I mean by the logging area. We'll come back for that chest. Oh, that was risky. Oh my god. Okay, we're just gonna keep running for a minute. Okay, finally. I think I missed a couple of places that they could be. Ooh, beast repellent. That's helpful. Let's kind of go back to where we were. Logging camp is up there. The ranger station is over there. By this bridge around here along the path, you might also see a horse. And while we're near the ranger station, you might also find a horse at the ranger station, like this quarter horse. Let's go back to the summer home. Okay, so we're kind of near the summer home. The Renegade camp is towards that direction. Going by the summer home, there's like this little like gully here, I suppose you could call it. Sometimes there's a horse in this area. I believe this goes towards like the bear cave. Yeah, that's the top of the bear cave. This is the bottom of the bear cave. There may be a horse around here. Leaving the bear cave, there are also two opportunities. So I vaguely remember seeing a horse down here last year. So the bear cave is behind us. We're going towards Starshine Ranch this way. So on the left side of this path, there's like a little ditch here. There could be a horse there. There hasn't been one this year yet, but I do remember one from last year. But also, on the other side of the path, in this little ditch or gully, there's another horse here. This has been a popular spot this year so far. I'm trying to think. I don't think I've seen any in this side of the field. But I mean, you can always check because there's usually other things in this area. There are two more main areas for us to check. Let's go over by Minka. I have a pursuant, but over here by Minka, there is sometimes a horse here. Today we have a mule. Is that my last one? That's 5 horses. All right, that was fast. We have by Minka. Well, there's a chest here too today. We'll be back for you. So by Minka, sometimes there's a horse here, and now we're gonna go towards the championship area. Right down the path from Minka, the championship is up this hill, but up this main path here in this little ditch or gully area. I don't know what you want to call it, but a lot of the times there's a horse here. This one gets overlooked a lot of the times. Oh, I guess I'm missing the Fir Grove Championship. Let's actually go to the Fir Grove Championship area because there's 2 more areas to check up there. At the championship area, I have seen a horse behind here, behind this tree. A couple days ago, there was a quarter horse here. And it is also worth checking up this hill here. Outside of the Fir Grove wall, I don't know if a horse can appear here, but I know a chest can. We'll talk about this in the next section too, but check up here. I also vaguely recall seeing a horse last year on the other side of this Valedale wall, not Valedale, Fir Grove wall. I vaguely remember there being a horse here last year. There hasn't been one yet this year, but again, worth checking. Trying to think. I believe also last year there may have been a horse underneath this bridge. Actually, maybe the first day there was one over here too. So yeah, check under bridges, check in little gullies and divots and ditches. There's plenty of hiding spots for these horses. Just stay vigilant, check lesser traveled areas, and especially the areas that I've shown in this video. Check those as diligently as you can. Now they're making quite a bit of noise, so let's go drop these off before we go talk about the chests. This feels like a very open area that could probably be a place for a horse, but I don't think I ever call one. Honestly, there just should be something here. It's very empty. One of my absolute favorite pieces of dialogue in this event is when you talk to Wesley. If you were leading a horse and you get spooked by wolves and you don't have the beast repellent and it sends you back to Camp Western, or Starshine Ranch anyway, you have to go back to where you encountered your wolves to actually go pick up your horses again. So keep in mind where you lost them, because if you don't, and you go to try to turn them in, even if your horses aren't behind you and you go talk to Wesley, he'll tell you, where's the horse, Shiloh, or where's the horse, whatever your name is. And I don't know why that makes me laugh so hard. It has become a meme in my household. So 200 Jorvik shillings, 300 horse experience, and a token for each horse delivery. All right, let's go talk about chests now. And finally, the last thing that you can find for Camp Western are Renegade Chests. Renegade Chests each cost a key to open up, which you can find, like the lures, like the beast repellents, scattered around the area. They'll just randomly appear for you to collect. You can also still get them from Gary Goldtooth or by turning in an item with a Renegade if they happen to be available that day. The chests are one of the best ways to get consumables, and surprisingly, one chest each day will give you a key. Typically, these are the chests that are found either at the Bear's Cave or the Wolf's Den, though so far this week, all of the ones that have had keys have been at the Wolf's Den. 2 of the other chests will also have a lure, and the last 2 chests will have a beast repellent. I don't know if they give specific amounts in each chest. To be honest, I haven't been paying that close attention, but hopefully in the course of recording this video, I should have that answer for you. If you are running low on keys, prioritize getting the chest at the Wolf's Den first. It's kind of a way for you to guarantee getting 2 chests, versus if you have only 1 key and you get one of the chests that has a beast repellent or a lure in it, you're not going to have another key to open up another chest. But if you go to the Wolf's Den first, I'm assuming that the rest of the event will be like it has been this last week, where there has always been a chest at the Wolf's Den, and that chest has always had a Renegade key. Assuming that is the case, if you go to the Wolf's Den first with a single key, you unlock that chest, you'll get a second key to open up another chest somewhere else around the forest. That way you can at least guarantee opening 2 chests a day. And again, if you run out of keys, you can exchange gold nuggets with Gary for more keys. Or you can just run around, or you can get lucky running around the forest and finding keys on your own, or sometimes one of Carl's chores will also give you a key. Like the horses, I don't actually have a set path that I like to check all these areas for, but these are the areas that I have found chests in this past week. There will likely be more locations than I am showing here, but in any event, make sure to check these areas first. So one of my tips was to start at the Wolf's Den, especially if you're running low on keys like I currently am. However, just for like the sake of like landmarks and stuff, we are going to start at the bridge. Because like where the horses can sometimes spawn over here, chests will also sometimes spawn here too. So far, I don't think there has been many this event, though today, Monday in particular, there is a chest along this shoreline before you hit the Thorn Rocks. So I think it's by this tree. Yeah, here it is glittering. You still chasing me? You good? Okay. So right over here between the Thorn Rocks along the shore, this is one area that the chest can show up. I'm going to come back for you because I need more keys first. We're going to continue around the shoreline as well and hop up into this orchard area. This is also a good place to check. Somewhere around here, there might also be a chest. Just generally, the orchard is a great place to check anyway, because if you're not looking for a chest, you're looking for that ranger, or you are looking for Mary's animals. Fun fact, Mary's animals now give you reputation for Starshine Ranch, because that is a new addition. This Camp Western is now, we finally have reputation for Starshine Ranch, which is really exciting. So Mary's animals, not part of the event, but it's just a great way to get horse experience and Jorvik shillings. And it's not that hard to do. It's kind of fun. So I like doing Mary's animals. So especially during Camp Western, take advantage of being in the area and do Mary's animals every day. You're going to get some Starshine Ranch experience in addition to horse experience. and Jorvik shillings. Okay. Another area for the chests, I kind of also passed it running away from the wolves, but along this part of the shore, there's also a couple different areas where chests can appear. One is over here by this rock, you might find a chest. I do recall previous years there being some over here. I could be wrong, still worth checking. Previous years, so far though not this year yet, there has also been a chest over here on this little grassy area. Previous years we also had chests over here on this little island picnic area, and then also going down this part of the shore behind this giant thorn rock. A couple of times so far this event by this picnic area, there has been a chest right here. So another place to check for a chest. We're kind of on the grave site area now. So far, again, not this year, but previous years, there has been a chest right in front of the headstone. And we have also seen a chest twice so far appear off the path here, but down this hill, sort of like right here, we've seen a chest. I'm being chased by wolves, so I can't stop and appreciate it, but kind of by this tree abouts, there may be a chest there sometimes. We are running up is this the southern side of Starshine Ranch? It is worth checking over here. I feel like this stump previous years had a chest worth checking. So far not this year, but maybe there's still 3 weeks left, maybe sometime in the next 3 weeks. Moving behind Starshine Ranch, there is the tutorial area where Josh had that chest. If you played on day 1 of the event, you'll have noticed that there was also a chest, like an actual Renegade chest, next to the tutorial chest area. So, tutorial chest was by this tree. The other chest can appear somewhere about here. What side of the map are we on? Let's go towards the bear cave. The bear cave has a couple of different areas that a chest might appear in. I want to say that there could be a possibility of a chest somewhere over here, kind of like where like the horse would be in that gully here. There may be a chest by one of these trees. I don't think we've seen one here this year, but I could be wrong. Another area we might see a oh, I didn't want you to see me. That's fine. I can actually hear a chest. There's a couple more spots. Another area where there might be a chest is by this tree stump and this tree, just a tree. Sometimes there's one around here, and it sounds like today there may be one. If it's not inside the cave, it's going to be above the cave. Sometimes there's one over here between these two sleeping bears. We're going to just sneak past them. We're going to go all the way up to the top. This is going to branch off to the right. Just keep going straight for now, because at the kind of lookout point over here, there could be a chest. There was one here, I want to say yesterday, but it might have been the day before. So worth checking here. And I think today's chest is on the descent. Oh, you're going to catch me. You're going to catch me. Well, we might as well aggro the other bear so that we... Yes, the key! Yes, the key! Give me the key! You're fast! Oh my god! Really, really don't, like, appreciate how fast it is to be on a level 25 character. Let's tucker you out, pal. Ooh! Yeah, I knew I shouldn't have slowed down. It's fine. Okay. Let's open you up while we're here. So, lots of spawning areas by the bear. Now that we're near the bear, though, let's go to the summer home. This one might be one of the more annoying places to have a chest appear, especially if you haven't completed Mr. Kemble's quest, like I haven't on this account. If you have, you'll be able to go in through the main gate here, but yeah, I still got some angry dogs, so I have to sneak through the fence, and I can't really... Well, actually, you can technically bring your horse through here, because at least if your horse is, I think, what, level 12, 11, you just have to walk through that gate area, and then you can call your horse, and they'll come right to you. So this actually makes it a little bit easier to navigate this area now. But there's 2 places that you can check for a chest over here. So far, There has not been one behind the house, though this was previously a spawn area for previous years. And the second one, there has been a chest. So you're going to just keep going all the way up the hill behind the home, because in front of this barn, sometimes there's also a chest. This one has, can confirm, has spawned so far this year. Let's go towards the clear-cut forest area, the logging area, where we saw a chest earlier. We may need to scare away the wolves, though. No, no, there's one wolf, one single wolf. We can handle one wolf. So in the logging area, there is sometimes a chest here. Should I open this one? Yeah, we're going to the wolf cave soon after this. So by the logging area, sometimes there's one here. The next landmark to check, I want to say, is probably the ranger station. There's a couple different areas they can spawn there. Okay, so at the ranger station, sometimes you can find a chest over here by this tree. Another place to check would be up the northern bridge here, where, like right at the turn where it meets the wall. Right here sometimes there's also a chest. And also kind of like jumping down into this little gully area. So far there hasn't been one this year yet, but I do recall previous years on this tree stump there having been a chest before. The good thing about the chests also is that you can hear them. They'll twinkle when you get pretty good distance away. So like if we're we know behind Minka now that there is a chest over here, but let's see how far away we can go before it starts twinkling. Like it's still going till about here. So you can see it's despawned. So about this far away, and I'm already hearing it twinkling. So you'll hear it at a good radius, so just put your game sounds on pretty loud. I believe it's ambient sound that you might be able to hear these with, but listen carefully for some twinkling and you should find a chest nearby. We're gonna come back for you though. So past Minka's, let's go up to the championship area. A good place to check is by the Fir Grove walls. Kind of like on this championship side. We know for sure that sometimes there's a chest in this area. Be careful because the wolves do appear. The wall is just also a good landmark to just check all the way around. There hasn't been anything so far on the other side of the wall, but I do recall, I don't know if it was either a horse or if it was one of the Renegade Chests on this far side of the wall. There's like a flattish area up here. It's worth checking. I don't know if it's going to be a horse or maybe a chest, but honestly, it's just kind of one of those, like, you know, little secret hidden areas that people don't often come up here, so it's worth checking for either a horse or a chest. And now that I'm thinking about it, actually checking the championship area, there might be some other areas too. This is a nice flat area, could have something. So far not this year yet, but also back behind the championship area, somewhere in this area might also be a good area for a chest. Sort of by like the Red String Trail, I'm like leaving the championship area. The Red String Trail is up here on this cliff here. There's like a little foresty area here. I don't recall there being a chest here yet this year, but I do recall vaguely, maybe a chest here in years past. It is dense and wooded and a little hard to see, which kind of makes it a good hiding spot for a chest. And there is a tree stump here. Could be an area for there's actually lots of tree stumps here. Always check the tree stumps. It's a good hiding place for chests. So just keep an eye out in like these wooded areas that potentially have tree stumps. Would be good to check. I do also recall by the sand pit back here along this ledge, there being a chest here previous years. So far not this year, but again, just from going off of the last couple years, there may be one there. Yay, a lure! And in front of the sand pit, there's a couple areas here that could also be good candidates. In front of the sand pit by the mine, there's a lot of tree stumps here. That tree stump in particular could have a chest. This one here, also good chest candidate. And you know what? This one too. It's kind of hard to show you right this second because there are wolves on me. But behind Andy's chicken coop, if you kind of go behind it. Oh, that one's gonna find me now. All right. I'll see you in a second. You should be done. Okay. So behind the chicken coop, there's like this gigantic boulder. Just follow the path around. I don't know if this shadow area is always here, but this tree stump could also have a chest. I recall there being chests here years past. Okay, and probably maybe the third, maybe the second. Maybe this area is more dangerous than the bear cave. The old mine, because there's lots of wolves that prowl around this area, but there's lots of opportunities for chests. There's, I think, 4 that I can think of off the top of my head. Right in front of this wood pile, there has been one sort of in the middle of the mine here along this wall by that sleeping wolf. There has been a chest, if I'm recalling correctly. This little indentation here is another area there could be a chest. This little indentation here could also have a chest, I believe. That seems correct. Also, maybe I'm thinking of over here, but basically just check all around the mine, because there's tons of opportunities for chests. That was just the middle section, because there's also, maybe the chest was over here, I don't remember, but oh no. So that was the upper and middle section of the mine, worth checking out, but there's also, I think, 2 or 3 other opportunities on the lower section as well. We're gonna go slowly because there's lots of sleeping wolves over here, and usually the slower you are in this area, the better until they actually catch you. This lower area could have some as well. I don't know about right here. Over here is also feeling kind of familiar. Inside one of these little like tunnel areas, like the entrance here could have one. The entrance here has had one. And over here on this side, I'm not sure if it's on this side of the tree or if it's behind the sleeping wolves, but this is another area that you could potentially have chests. In the woods north of Starshine Ranch, this is kind of like on the path from the bridge. You could also find some over here. I know that there's a couple of trees that they spawn near. It's gonna be kind of hard to show you because I don't remember exactly which tree. I do know that this one, I believe, could be one that has a chest somewhere around it because I do remember this hill, it being near one of those. So check where these wolves are prowling. There could be chests over here in this area. Again, that radius of the Twinkling Sound is quite big, so listen up for it, and if you're just running around this area, you should find it not with too much difficulty. Also in this area, there's a lot of gold up here, and beast repellent. There has been a chest on top of this hill one day. I expect there to be another one by the time the event is over. So these rocks that you can climb up are also worth checking out. This one also. I don't know if one has been up here this year yet, but these are traversable, which means that you can probably put a chest up here. Okay, and finally, let's go check out the wolf cave. Before we even go into the wolf den area, on this side of the map, it's kind of like looking over Valedale. There hasn't been one yet. However, there has been in years past. You kind of have to like circle around to it. But there's like this area up here. Am I gonna get... Oh, okay, that's fine. Anyways, you're gonna spiral up this little hill. There has not been one here. There has not been one yet this year. But I vaguely remember there being one the first year. So if you really cannot find a chest, it's worth checking up here. You never know. There could be one here. If you haven't been up here, there's probably a star up here too. If I'm remembering correctly, there may be a star or a tokens travels. So come up this little roundabout here and check out this picnic area. So you might find more than treasure. Okay, actually going into the wolf's den, you're almost guaranteed to have a chest appear here. So it's good to know the areas around the wolf den that you should be checking. What I'm doing first though is I am grabbing as many wolves as I possibly can. This way it takes a little bit for them to respawn, buying us a little bit of time before we have to, like, you know, run around a bit. So I'm grabbing as many wolves as I can, being very, very careful not to run into anything and lose all 8 of my beast repellents. But I've got lots of areas to show you specifically for the wolf den. Ooh, a pickaxe. Okay, so some areas to check for a chest. This little alcove has had one already. To get to that, you're just going to need to dismount and walk into the area. Be careful not to wake the sleeping wolves, although I think you have to actually run into them to wake them up. So you've got enough space over there. Going over to the main area, of course there's another wolf. Going over to the main area, sometimes there may be some along this wall here. There may be a chest. Going towards the entry area here, there may be a chest, kind of like around this pillar. Oh, come on. How? You weren't even there. You just spawned in. Anyways, before I was rudely interrupted, over here, around this kind of like pillar area, there may be one. Another area you might find one is over here, right in front of this like drop-off point. Sometimes one of the Renegade or Jorvik Rangers items will also be right in front of here. Another area you can check for a chest is down here in this little area by that sleeping wolf. I'm going to be really careful to not wake you up. But over here there may be a chest. I think down here there may also be one. I'm not actually sure. I'm just kind of guessing right now. And then there's one more area which I think has today's chest. Okay, or not. And similar to the other side, there's another little alcove over here that also has today's chest. Now, I believe that is all of the places that I've seen chests at so far. I apologize if I have missed some. There's a lot. There's a lot that they could potentially spawn at, but generally you are looking for lesser traveled areas. You're looking for tree stumps. You're looking for like hidden areas, but most importantly, you are listening for that twinkling sound to help guide you to the next chest. Hopefully this video will help you find even more horses and chests and the NPCs to make the most of Camp Western that you can. If you're still not able to find some horses or some chests and you're really looking for help, you can ask in global, even on a quiet server. I play on Poppy Moon, which is a quieter server, and every day without fail, I have seen other people trying to help other players find the chests and the horses that they're missing. Everybody's been really kind and really helpful. This really is one of the events that the community does come together a little bit to try and help each other, much like the Equestrian Festival where you need to have other people do the group races with you. People have just been so kind and so helpful in global. And even outside of the game, I've seen a lot of people trying to help others by making posts on like Instagram and Tumblr and Discord and all different places with the coordinates and little clues and hints to help people find these things. So if all else fails, turn to your community, but hopefully this will give you a little bit of an easier time if you're trying to find them yourself. And if I can take a little time to plug my own community, my friend Apple and I have recently started a Discord server for adults who play Star Stable. It is an 18+ community, so you do have to be 18+ to join, though it is a safe for work environment. Jorspace was created to give adults in the Star Stable community a place to go hang out and roleplay with other people their age, but who also still love and appreciate this game. And while it was founded with a roleplay friendly mentality, roleplay is absolutely not at all required to join. One of my favorite features that I put together though has an interactive map where if you do roleplay and your character has a business or a barn or some other location that is relevant to their story, you can submit some information about it and I will add it to our map of Jorvik so that other people who roleplay can take a look at the map, see what other businesses are around, and then also incorporate it into their roleplay. My goal is to fill up the map as much as we possibly can to make the Star Stable roleplay world feel even more alive and like an actual in-game community. So anyways, if you are interested and you are 18+, I cannot stress this enough, it is an adult-only community. You can click the Discord link in the description below and join us over at Jorspace, because it's your space too. This may be a little counterintuitive, But while you are still learning and trying to find all the places that things will appear in the game, here is the list of every location for the NPCs, the Renegade Chests, and the horses for today, Tuesday, August 12th. You can use this as a backup if you need help today. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, make sure to leave a like, subscribe, and turn on the notification bell so you never miss another video like this. I do try to cover every Wednesday update and more, and I will see you all tomorrow for week 2 of Camp Western. Bye!